Welcome to the Access to Innovators podcast, powered by the premier life skills university, High Point University.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Annie Borovskiy, a junior from the suburbs of Philadelphia studying sport management. Today, I'm going one-on-one with Charlie Freeman, president of business operations for the Orlando Magic and High Point University's sports business executive in residence. Mr. Freeman, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
Annie, thanks for being here. And as we talked earlier, congratulations on your Eagles heading to the Super Bowl, being from Philadelphia. I'm sure you're going to be cheering them on. So congrats.
Super excited. Well, let's kick it off by talking about your recent partnership that you have with HPU.
Yep.
As you know, we are the premier life skills university. So kind of just want to know what attracted you to partnering with High Point University and what sets HPU students apart.
Well, it's been a great partnership. So I've been very fortunate to sort of get this wonderful opportunity to be the sports business executive in residence, but I'll sort of give you the history of it. So first and foremost, was fortunate enough through actually at the Orlando Magic, our chief financial officer, Jim Fritz, daughter actually goes to High Point, and she's a senior here. And as I was doing college tours with my son, we were driving through in the Carolinas, and a school that I couldn't get into. I went to Rollins College in Orlando, was Wake Forest. I got on the wait list, but never got off of it. And I was destined. I'm like, my son is going to love Wake Forest. He's going to fall in love with this. So we had to go visit Wake Forest. And Jim Fritz, again, CFO from the Magic, whose daughter's here, said, Charlie, you got to stop at the High Point University. And honest to God, I didn't know a whole lot about it, heard just wonderful things and the incredible marketing. But we went to Wake. My son was like ho-hum about the campus. And then literally we drove through the gates and walked on this campus. And not only did he fall in love with it, I fell in love with it.
Of course.
I asked my wife, I'm like, can I go back to school? And so the minute we walked on campus and got to hear Dr. Cobain and the incredible way that you treat prospects that are coming in looking at schools and just how you treat all your students, was truly amazed, and said, so right away I was like, I'd love to get involved. So lo and behold, my son made this his top choice and only choice. He did early decision, and they came up for that wonderful weekend, and then got to come up for President's Weekend. So each time I came up, I was just chatting with McKinnon, Chris Dudley, and everyone, and just was like, how can I get involved? I just want to be a part of it, and I love giving back. I taught at the DeVos Sports Management Program down in Orlando, got to teach at University of Southern Florida, USF. And so I love teaching, love giving back. And so I was like, how can I get involved? And the head of the business school asked if I could come talk, and then started having conversations with a couple other folks. And Dr. Cobain asked me to do the PBS interview, which was fun. And then lo and behold, they asked if I'd jump on as a sports executive in residence. And just so happy to do it, and my son now is here, and so happy to come up and visit him as well as be able to help the students. So it was love at first sight, and again, just so happy to be here. So thanks for having me.
Well, we're super, super grateful for you, and looking forward to the partnership that you're going to have with HPU.
Absolutely.
So students at HPU are in the process of exploring where their passions lie within sport, with internships, and you began your career with the Magic as an intern, and you've been there ever since. Can you kind of walk me through your journey?
It's an interesting journey. It's one that I'm just very blessed to work for, first and foremost, an incredible family in the DeVos family who own the Orlando Magic, and then an organization such as the Orlando Magic. We're rooted in core community values such as community, teamwork, legendary service, and innovation. And so those are things that are pillars of our organization. And it was great for me to start. I was finishing up my senior year at Rollins College and was able to come on as an intern second semester my senior year. As I've spoken to some of the students here at HPU, really recommend internships. I had started doing them my sophomore year. Did one for Merrill Lynch, and then Chicago Mercantile Exchange floor, then Universal Studios, and ultimately the Magic. And then that led to an incredible opportunity to get a full-time job there. And back in 1996, we had a player named Shaquille O'Neal, and things were great, and just really fell in love with sports and fell in love with the organization, and have been there ever since. It's been an incredible journey. Very rarely do you sort of stay with one company that long, but I will tell you, if you look at our tenure of all of our executives, a lot of them have been there 30, 25, 28, 20 years. And so we're just very fortunate. Florida's a great place to live, and it's a great organization. So to be able to grow up and grow within the organization has been a great journey.
Definitely great to hear that the culture of the Orlando Magic is one where you could be there for that long.
Yeah, it's fun.
So my dream is to work in partnership services at the collegiate or professional level. And since you've had, so much experience with partnership services, kind of just sort of sport, or what have you seen others do?
Yeah, so, I started as an intern in corporate partnerships, and I know we were talking beforehand about just your aspirations, and I would tell you it's an incredible area within sports, and you deal with the brands. So, we get to deal with in our case, the Pepsi-Colas, the Advent Health, the Disneys, and a lot of those partners have been with us since our inception, 35 years ago. And you create these incredible relationships. But our job at the Magic, and your job, obviously, when you were at Learfield, is how do you bring a brand to life? And how you take the excitement and the reach of sport and really help create the halo effect between your brand and that brand. And bring that brand to life and showcase what they're all about. And you really have to have alignment in your core values. And so our key partners, our large partners, have the same core values, which again, community is one of them. We do a tremendous amount of volunteer opportunities. We give back. We just partner with Advent Health on a Habitat for Humanity home dedication actually 2 days ago, and those are the types of things that make you realize that what we do is pretty special. And so I encourage you to continue down that path. As I mentioned, I'm happy to help and help students here, but corporate partnerships is a great place to start, and I think your experience with Learfield is going to help you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah.
So you currently oversee a variety of departments of the Magic, including responsibilities such as oversight management of ticket sales, premium sales, ticket operations, global operations, partnerships, marketing, arena operations, philanthropy, social responsibility, and many, many more.
I appreciate it.
What advice do you have for students that are trying to figure out their path and where they want to go?
Yeah, what I would say, and I was able to talk to the business fellows earlier today at lunch and just say, you don't necessarily have to know early in your career or when you're even still in college of what department necessarily you're going to fall into. You need to find what your passions are. And I think what I would encourage people to do is do a lot of research, study, informational interviews, talk to people in the industry that they can get to know, or, when people like myself or St. Marshall come, learn about what is communications, you got to see early through your internships what, corporate partnership and corporate activation was about, and you knew that's what you wanted. A lot of people may not have that opportunity, and I think, if you can, through leaning on mentors, leaning on people in the industry, trying to find out, do research, and just sort of see. And again, then test, try. I think early in your career, you can, especially when you're doing internships, you can try different departments and see if it's what you want. And then that's the advice I'd give, is that, don't be afraid to try different things, or, get outside your comfort zone, because some people may say sales isn't their thing, but they may actually find that they actually may be better at it than they believe. I think a lot of people don't think they're salespeople, but we're all salespeople. Literally we're selling ourselves from the day we're trying to get into college, right? And so to me, I think the advice is to not be afraid to sort of branch out and reach out and, see what you love, because ultimately you want to do something that you wake up every day loving.
Yeah, I definitely live by that quote, do what you love and you never work a day in your life. So it's definitely kind of why I'm interested working in sport. Yeah. As you kind of mentioned earlier, innovation is one of your core values at the Magic, and we like to say that innovation is in our DNA here at HPU. How important is innovation in your day-to-day life with the Magic, and can you maybe give us an example?
Yeah, I think COVID forced us to innovate, but prior to that, we really take pride in the fact that we want to innovate in our industry. And I think, one of the things is our whole ticketing and how we've done certain things. And, one of the, challenges that sometimes you hear with basketball and NBA basketball in particular is the price point. It might be too expensive for, students, or for people coming, first couple years in the job market. And so what we really wanted to create was, how could we innovate a product that would work well for, people that we want to make lifelong fans of the Orlando Magic. So we created this season pass product, and obviously subscription services today with streaming and all others, it's a monthly subscription. We basically give you the opportunity to subscribe to a monthly pass, and it gives you access, depending on the month and the number of games. You'll get anywhere from 4 to 6 games in a month. And the benefit of it is it's I want to say it's around $40 or $49 a month, and you get guaranteed a seat to a game. Now, where that seat is, that's where the technology comes in, and it's pretty unique. So what we want to make sure is that you're coming to the game. So what we do is we geolocate your phone, and when you get within a mile of the building, we'll actually populate you with a ticket. And depending on what our attendance projections is, et cetera, we'll set you in the lower bowl sometimes, we'll set you in the upper bowl sometimes. And, it's a great chance for that individual to experience it at a very affordable price. And those are the people that when they start, and we've learned is if you start as a fan and you stick with us 3 years and then 5 years, those milestones become critical as we looked at the predictive renewal model. And what you find is that if they stick with you for 3 or 5 years, their likelihood to renew goes up exponentially. So again, trying to create that product that's affordable, that's just one of the things that we do that's about innovation. But a lot of people in sports don't realize that if you don't get out in front of that and get to this Gen Z that maybe isn't consuming the broadcasts in their entirety like the earlier generations did, how do you get them exposed to the game? And the live experience is something that really, I think, changes their mind. So it's been fun. It's been great.
Awesome. That's super neat to hear about, the season pass and offering that ticket with the geolocation. That's crazy to think about that. Y'all have that power and all that information. It's definitely important to keep that data and use it to your benefit. So that's great to hear. So it's very notable to be recognized as Sports Business Journal's 40 Under 40, a recognition that spotlights the nation's top young sports executives under the age of 40. First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you continue to stay motivated and creative in your role with the Magic?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think I'll start with appreciate you bringing up the 40 under 40. I wish I was closer to 40, but I'm closer to 50 now than 40. But actually, I'm going to tell you, rather than talk about that, I want to tell you sort of a proud moment for me is I think as you grow in your career and you realize the importance of leadership and mentorship. I've been very fortunate. 2 of the last 3 years, we've had 2 people that were interns of ours at the Magic, one that worked directly for me growing up and one that I've worked directly with the second part of our career. We're both nominated and honored as 40 Under 40 recipients in 2 of the last 3 years. So I got to go up to New York and celebrate and be a part of that. And so we joke it's a neat honor. And the 3 of us now get to claim that honor. But it's just so rewarding to see, people that, learn and grow. And that's the fun part. And I'm just so blessed to have had great people work with me and, get to see them be successful. And that's such a rewarding thing that you don't realize until sort of that next phase in your career where it's actually more rewarding to see them win the awards than actually you winning the actual awards. That's been fun. That's
great. What are your relationships with people that work at the Magic that might be interns or kind of are in their first year working in sport?
That's a great question. Obviously being an intern at the Magic, I really appreciate, what they do and how much effort and hard work goes into it. And so the beauty is I get to sit down with them once or twice a year and really spend about a couple hours, similar to what I'm doing here at HBU, but just talk to them about sort of what's ahead of them. I really want them to take advantage of the learning opportunity. And so it's really fun for me to see, over the years, the different classes that have come in and how they've gone. And the first thing I say to them all is I said, first, look around. You all are going to be successful in sports. Make sure you stay in contact with each other because you never know what that's going to be. And, as I've been fortunate, I think I mentioned earlier in the podcast that, I had a couple interns have gone on to win some great recognition and awards. Another one I'm very proud of the president of basketball operations for the Toronto Raptors, Bobby Webster. He has a championship ring, which I don't have, but he was an intern of mine, and just to see them be successful is great. And again, it's just being able to spend time with them and then making sure they know that I have an open door policy. I think, and what happens, and it's interesting, and I would encourage any of the listeners out there, don't be afraid to, ask questions or follow up, because I think so often they're intimidated by maybe the title or whatever. But remember, I was an intern. So if I get a knock at the door and they want to talk about their career, unless I'm in the middle of something that's pretty heavy, I'm probably going to figure out a time to spend a few minutes to guide them and talk with them. And I think that's the kind of culture we want to create at the Magic, that open door sort of, help however we can. And I think it's something that is special. And I think it's something that's special here with the Innovators program. And I think you'll find that, most people are going to go out of their way to help, because we all had that as we were growing up.
Awesome. How do you want to foster relationships with HPU students specifically?
Yeah, I mean, as I sort of start into this, I want to be able to be a sounding board, a mentor, want to be able to create sort of a opportunity for anybody that, is interested in working in pro sports. I think today I had a great conversation in one of the classrooms. We have some people that are really interested in hockey, and we have a minor league hockey team. We have a esports gaming team. We have a G League team in Lakeland. We have obviously the Magic. And so there's tremendous number of opportunities. And if I can help expose them to them and, help them maybe get an internship or interviews. But most importantly, I think for me, and I do this with our interns and our young leaders at the Magic, just being a sounding board, being a mentor.
What should students at High Point University take advantage of being here?
I think the Access to Innovators program is so unique. I can speak from experience that my son, who's a freshman here, you had the Domino's CEO here a couple weeks ago or a month ago, and he calls me like right after. He's like, "Dad, I just came out of this incredible seminar," and I just encouraged the students. I encourage, and I know that's something that's important to you. You mentioned that is to take advantage of the access to these people, these incredible people. I mean, we had Steve Wozniak early in the week, Dr. Maxwell coming tomorrow. It's just amazing. Shoot, I want to meet him, and let alone the students. And so, what I would tell you is it's just so unique to take advantage of it. And there's just little tidbits that you're going to pick up. And, as you learn nuggets of information through your college career, those are things that you don't get at any other institution. And that's what makes, truly High Point the Life Skills University. And I'm just happy to be able to be a small contributor to that. But, I encourage students to attend those events. And I know at first when I asked my son, I'm like, "Are you going to go?" And he's like, And then he realized, it finally clicked for him. He's like, "This is why I'm here." Obviously it's, to learn, but it's also to figure out what's the next step and how do I take my education and leverage that into a great job opportunity. And that's what you guys have here, which is fantastic. And I encourage people to not be afraid to reach out for advice. I think what people forget is that we've all been where you all have been, and we all had people help us along the way. And so how do we, as leaders, give back and mentor people going forward? And that is sort of one of our ways of giving back. And we need to be able to do that. And we need to encourage the students to not be afraid to reach out and ask. And so I gave out a lot of business cards today. Hope they'll follow up. If not, we'll obviously push Elena to see how else I can help. But that's being able to be a mentor and a guiding hand along their careers, if I can do that. And as I promised you, I'm going to help you with Learfield and do that. I'm happy to do that. So
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you for sharing your extraordinary advice and achievements with us today. We're so grateful for your commitment to mentoring HPU students and joining a remarkable, innovative program that inspires our students and campus community. Thank you all for joining me on the Access to Innovators podcast powered by High Point University.
Hey, thank you so much, and what a great job. You did phenomenal. This is fantastic, and great to see you.